Gemma Wenger, and this is Gemma Wenger's Hollywood. And we're here in Westwood, California at Borders Bookstore for the DVD signing of Shirley Jones' DVD, Hollywood, Singing and Dancing, A Musical History. And we're going to talk to Shirley Jones, we're going to talk to her husband, Marty Ingels, and we're also going to meet Hugh O'Brien, the original Wyatt Earp. So stay tuned because you're going to have a great time. I have Shirley Jones here. We're at the DVD signing of Hollywood Singing and Dancing, A Musical History. And I kind of did a little history on you. And you started out as a singer, as a trained singer.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I was actually an opera singer. And my singing teacher in Pittsburgh wanted me to go into opera. I sang an aria when I won the title of Miss Pittsburgh. But I thought, nah, I want to go into musical comedy. Mainly, I wanted to become a veterinarian, and that was my plan, but it never happened, you know.
And then you did Rodgers and Hammerstein Carousel in Oklahoma, so that involved a lot of singing.
Yes, Oklahoma was my first film. I was in the stage production of South Pacific for the last 6 months of the Broadway show as one of the nurses. Then I did the movie of Oklahoma for Rodgers and Hammerstein, playing the lead role, Laurie, and then Carousel, then The Music Man.
And then you kind of switched gears and you did Elmer Gantry.
Which was a wonderful way to go because they stopped making musical motion pictures and, because the European market didn't seem to be very receptive. And if I hadn't done Elmer Gantry, I would not have had the longevity I've had in my career.
Because you received an Academy Award. I mean, that's so amazing.
Yes, I did. And went on to do 23, 25 more motion pictures, so...
Wow, and then I know I kind of came in at the Partridge Family. I mean, that was about my age group. And so now, actually, you were an actress as well as a mom for, Sean and David, and they're in the business, and Patrick. And what's that like?
Well, I was... One of the reasons I decided to do the Partridge Family, because at that time, the managers and agents said, don't do a television series because if it is successful, you'll be that character for the rest of your life. And I am, Mrs. Partridge. But it was wonderful for me because it gave me a chance to stay home and raise my kids. And that was really most important at the time because they were school age. And I'd had them all over the world on movie locations, because they rarely shot in Hollywood at that time. They'd go off to Europe or go off to Canada. And so it gave me a chance to raise my kids, which are the most important things in my life, so.
Any advice you can give to moms who have children in the business to make them successful, or things? I know a lot of stage moms do a lot of things that makes children unsuccessful.
Well, naturally, I didn't want them to go into the business. I was one of those moms that says, no, you're not doing that. You're going to college. Well, that's all you have to say to a kid is you're going to go to college. Then they go the other direction, as you well know. Well, they all went into show business, but fortunately, they're all relatively successful, and they have been, all in different, Ryan, my youngest son, is an art director, set decorator. Patrick is mostly stage. He's done, 7 Broadway shows playing the lead. He's done 2 or 3 television series. And of course, Sean was a rock star, and now he's a very successful producer, writer. He's written 4 pilots this year that have been accepted. And he's doing very well.
And, you seem like such a great mom. I mean, the mom on the Partridge Family. But if your kids could describe you, how would they describe you as a mom?
Well, I think that they would say that I was a pretty good mom. My oldest, Sean, who said, well, she wasn't around enough, I don't think. But still and all, when she was there, it was the quality of the time, not the quantity, right? He was he was the oldest. So he's the more sort of dictatorial in the family. But no, we have great relationship, all of us. I mean, the 3 brothers have wonderful relationship, and David's a stepbrother, so there's 4 of them. And matter of fact, Sean wrote a pilot for David and Patrick this year, and ABC is doing it. And his daughter is graduated UCLA, and she's a makeup artist. She's doing the makeup. And my youngest son, Ryan,
all in the family.
Art director. It's all in the family. And if it sells, the pilot's already sold. But if it sells and becomes a big series, Grandma will make her entrance too. So.
That's right. Now you were actually named for Shirley Temple, right? And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy because she sang, she danced, she acted. Did your parents have any idea that you would do that?
Well, I was born singing. I was singing when I was 6 years old. I was the youngest member of the church choir at age 6. And I never was able to read music, but I had a natural ear. It was a gift, definitely a gift. And so that was just a part of my life, and still is. I'm still doing concerts all over the world, and matter of fact, I'm leaving tomorrow to go and do Carousel with my son Patrick up in Oklahoma City. I'm playing the other character. I'm playing Cousin Nettie, the older lady, and he's playing Billy Bigelow on the stage.
Well, history repeats itself, doesn't it? Well, that's amazing. Well, Shirley, you just glow. You're just beautiful. You're just exciting. You're just like everybody's dream girl, So I just want to thank you for being such a sweetheart, and thank you for taking the time for this interview. You take care. Okay, I have Marty Ingels, the husband of Shirley Jones, here. We're at a special DVD signing at Borders in Westwood, California, and it's Hollywood, Singing and Dancing, a Musical History. And now, Marty, you married Shirley in 1977, so you've been married a long time. How have you made it work?
You want a joke answer or a real one? Who says it's working?
I think it must be working because you're still together.
The real answer is that if 20 years ago you took a referendum about what women think are most important for a man and a requirement, sense of humor would have been probably number 7 or 8. Number 1, breeding, money, looks, stature. Today, sense of humor is number 1. When I met Shirley Jones, believe it or not, Burt Lancaster and Glenn Ford were in love with her. I was the third one.
And those were her leading men in some of her movies, right?
She worked with all of them, both of them. And I was the third one, and she married me. Now, that either is a medication problem on Shirley's part, or why did that happen? They were terrific guys. I would have married 2 of them myself, but they weren't funny. Shirley and I met, first date, laughed. We're still laughing. And that seems to be the glue that keeps lots of marriages together. But ours, certainly, we laugh all the time, and it's kept us going 30 years.
Now, you've done a lot of voices for cartoons. Tell us a little bit about that.
When my career in television seemed to evaporate, and I had a scratchy voice, and nobody had scratchy voices then scratchy voices came in. All of a sudden, the announcer, the perfect announcer, was out, and guys sounded like me on television. So I began to have a career selling cheese and ice cream and underwear and cars, and the voice of Pac-Man and a million other things. So God's been good because that kept me alive until I found all kinds of other ways to make a living.
Now, I would call you a comedian. Is that how you think of yourself?
Shut up.
You don't think?
These days,
I think it's a good label.
These days that I'm a wealthy humanitarian and a philanthropist, you say that without spitting, I don't like to call myself a comedian. I like to say that I'm a one-time comedian. I'll always be a comedian, but that's not the way I make a living anymore. I think I'm smarter than that, but being funny and having a sense of humor, you can't get rid of it. It's good. It's medicine. Shh. They're telling the Jew to shut up. Should I shut up or should I not? What else?
Well, I think also, too, you were just on ER and you've done some things on television. Tell us a little bit about those and how those came about.
I'm always available because I'm a ham. So I just did ER. I do anytime I have 2 movies coming up. I didn't become Steven Spielberg as a producer. I didn't become
Gene Katzenberg?
No, great comedians. The guy who hosts the Oscars.
Billy Crystal?
Yeah, I didn't become Billy Crystal, but
there's still time.
Not if that lady has anything to do with it, who just shushed her. But I beat all the odds, and I got America's Sweetheart. She's a very special kind of person. Very special.
Do you ever feel like you're Mr. Shirley Jones?
If I didn't like myself and I had a masculine problem, I would feel, because people call me Mr. Jones, and I say to myself, when they say that, look, if they think I'm Tom Jones, let them think I'm Tom Jones.
I have the very famous Hugh O'Brien. We know he was the original Wyatt Earp, and I know I went to UCLA, so I know that there's a building that's named after you. And you, yeah, at UCLA.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yes, yes. So anyway.
I did a lot of shows, though, at UCLA. I went to UCLA for a short time when I got out of the Marine Corps. And then I got in the crazy business, show business, and never became the attorney that I wanted to be. But it worked out okay because now when I play attorneys, I win all the cases and I get paid more.
Yes, that's true. Well, let me ask you, did you take theater at UCLA?
Did I what?
Did you take theater at UCLA?
No, I took a blonde and then it was a strawberry blonde.
And you got married?
And there was a brunette after that. No, I didn't go through the theater arts department, but I did start a series of shows that were aimed at presentation of the talent in the theater arts department. And once a month we would put on scenes and we would get all the people from various studios, casting directors and everything, to come by and take a look at the talent coming up. And it was very successful. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about going back there and maybe trying to put it on again.
Awesome. Talk about some of the favorite things that you've done, that you've been in, and why are they your favorite things?
We enjoyed doing Wyatt Earp very, very much. It was the first adult Western. The dialogue was reality and the wardrobe was. And I insisted on using full loads instead of a quarter load. And now I'm paying for it because I have a hearing problem. But the Wyatt Earp is, was a great fun thing to do, and I met an awful lot of people back then in the 50s and 60s that actually knew the real Wyatt Earp because he died here in Los Angeles in 1929 on 13th Street. But show business has been great and everything, but the other parts of my life are even more important and things that I really care about.
So what is important to you now?
Well, I had the privilege of spending 9 very inspirational days with Dr. Albert Schweitzer at his clinic in Africa. Came back, and on the plane home, it took about 48 hours to get back home before the age of jets. So I had a lot of time to think up there who I was, and boy, of all people in the world was I, during the Wyatt Earp show, and the ability to have invited by him, I mean, that in alone was just awesome. And I decided to put what I learned there to work. And what he said it really became the backbone of HOBY, which is hoby.org is the website if you want to take a look at it, is that the most important thing in education is teaching young people to think for themselves. And that's what HOBY does. We focus on 10th graders because, well, when I was a sophomore in high school, 15 years of age, you got 2 more years of fun and games, and then the old tough world is going to be on top of you. So you really have to start focusing really on who you are and what you want to be. And there are tremendous opportunities out there if you just apply yourself and, take your time in finding what you want to do. But do go to college, and if you're not sure what you want to major in, take a liberal arts course for a couple of years. But
so it seems like you...
important thing to get an education.
It seems like you really have a heart for children, for teaching children, for passing on what you know to the next generation.
Well, I think most people do. It's just, are they putting their effort and time and money in the right place? It's not just money that makes it work. It's also truly a caring situation. And I think we have a tremendous number. I'm very impressed with most of the teachers I've ever met and their desire to pass on to young people what is necessary to become a success. And success isn't just necessarily money. Success is, well, there are a lot of ways to look at it. One is having a great family, being responsible for raising that family, helping young people whenever you can to get up and get at it. And then there are many, many ways where they can spend a few bucks and make that count. So putting money into anything that supports young people in their future, to me, is the real answer.
Also, being an actor, everybody kind of idolizes actors. I know it opens a lot of doors, but are there any drawbacks?
Well, I never really thought of myself as an actor. I did many shows on Broadway and everything, but to me it was a job, and I loved doing it. But, take, for instance, the films that I've done overseas, in Europe, in Spain, in England, in Germany, my background is my dad and his family were from Germany. My mother and her family were from Ireland and Spain. But to be able to go over there and make a film, and then, if you're smart, spend 3-4 weeks afterwards just tooling around and getting to see the country. So I met my share of kings and queens and my share of counts and also my no accounts. But it's been a great life, and I'm very fortunate to also have met some fun, really wonderful people in the business that I adore, that I have great respect for. Shirley Jones is one of them. That's one of the reasons I'm here tonight. She is a truly beautiful lady, not just on the outside, but inside. She's a great human being.
Yes, and you seem like you have a great heart. So your passion basically now is teaching. Are you doing any more acting?
Yeah, probably occasionally I'll do a few things or commercials or whatever, but I've made that, I've been there, I've done that. What I'm interested in doing is enlarging the program that I already do have and trying to make it available to even younger people. We will have 75 locations in the United States next spring, a little over 11,000 high schools that have chosen their top 10th graders to go to that. Then our World Congress, which is it's an 8-day program. That's held at George Washington University, and what makes it a World Congress, besides about 5 or 6 from every state in the United States attending, as sophomores in high school, we'll also have 20 to 35 countries.
That's a great way to use your celebrity, to use your name to really gain publicity and people and promote an important cause. Let me ask you.
Well, all of us can put back in our own way. What I found is that there is a tremendous opportunity. If you make a name for yourself in the business, even today, I can call a Fortune 500 company to try to speak to the chairman of the board or the president. And 9 times out of 10, he'll take the call just out of curiosity. What the hell does Wyatt Earp want with me? So it's a great door opener, and it's a way to really take advantage of what you've learned and what you've done and make something of that notoriety, make it work in terms of a positive program for other people.
And let me ask, giving back to the community, that's true.
I know you got to go, I got to go. Because I'm parking cars tonight.
Okay.
I also do windows, whatever it takes.
All right.
No, but I do want to say to anybody out there looking at this that I would appreciate it if you would do me the honor of looking at the website. It's HOBY.org, O-R-G, and it's pronounced Hobby, H-O-B-Y, Hobby, and that's short for my name, Hugh O'Brien Youth. Wherever you are, there are people that are involved in the program as volunteers, and you can be too. Take a look at it. It'll also take you to memorabilia and all the wonderful stuff I did up in show business. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Hugh. It's been a pleasure. Oh, thank you. You're a very handsome young man. Well, that was pretty exciting. We got to talk to Shirley Jones and Marty Ingels and Hugh O'Brien, the original Wyatt Earp. And it was just really good to hear that these people who have a name, who have a platform, are using their celebrity and their influence for good, to influence people to become the best that they can possibly be. God bless you. I'm Gemma Wenger, and this is Gemma Wenger's Hollywood.